Hello and welcome back to Steven's Universe podcast called Crystal Men.
Hello, that's us, the Crystal Men. I'm Tom.
And I'm Jim.
And we had no idea that this episode was the STEVONNIE episode.
Cut back to last week when we were like, oh, what's the next fucking episode?
It better not be a fucking townie episode.
Yeah. And in a way, it almost is. It's like this is the perfect mix of like the
gem and town
townie
stuff.
Yeah. And in almost a very apt fused kind of way.
So we got a lot to talk about this episode.
Yeah, so we talked we're done.
That's it. It's been beautiful.
We watched episode 37 of Steven Universe season 1, which is called Alone Together, which begins immediately with Amethyst and Steven dancing.
Trying to fuse, yeah.
So I was like, oh, are we getting smoky quartz foolishly?
And I
did things.
Not understand what he was talking about. I'm like, yeah, like that'll be the first, like...
Yeah, you were like, that's the first gem and human fusion. And I was like, yeah, what a weird response to say when we're about to see her in like 12 seconds.
I think that's like season 4.
I think you're right. Yeah, it takes a very... That's why I was shocked when I was like, fuck, we're getting STEVONNIE.
Yeah, I mean... First off, before we even get into like the episode, just the atmosphere of this episode is so interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because it's both like gleeful and very like solemn.
Yes.
And they do an excellent job of kind of really, presenting the title like Alone Together. Like this inherent loneliness.
Yeah.
But excitement and like, it's just like... I have definitely felt this way before.
Oh my gosh, especially when you're out at like a club
and like
just feeling completely disconnected.
Out of place, but also like having fun. It's just it's very
and also
evocative.
Being one with your girlfriend and just not being able to like no I'm kidding.
Being internally fused.
But no, I do want to. We'll table this for a little bit, but. Just like another notch for the fusion is fucking /
oh my
fusion
God.
is relationship / fusion is consent thing. We'll talk about that a bit later once we have the full context of it, but they like very much lean into this metaphor, which at the time I would say was definitely a bit more novel than it is now. I feel like
they were skirting the lines of I think what a Cartoon Network would have allowed.
Yeah.
Like what the public, like what the syndication would have let get on air. And I mean, I know it's all just kind of a giant metaphor, but like it's still pretty sexualized even in the way they show it.
STEVONNIE's design is very sexualized, I would say.
And that's like the purpose. I mean, we'll get into that in a little bit, but like even just from the very beginning of the episode. So they're dancing.
All of the crystal gems are dancing.
All of them. They're all trying
Except Bismuth, that bitch is still
that
fucking
asshole. Lazy. Taking a nap. So, they're trying to teach Steven how to fuse, which does make sense from a continuation of last episode.
Yeah.
They're thinking, now we got to bring out all of the stops to fight this upcoming threat, theoretically.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that they want Steven to fuse to become more powerful with them, especially considering what Rose Quartz was able to do when they're all properly fused.
Yeah, I mean, you become a super being.
Yeah. But it's not working. He's not... which, I mean, he's practicing, but they even say it'll take time if it's possible at all. But they try to show him, and my God, like, the fuck...
Pearl, so we haven't seen... oh my God, I always forget the name. Rainbow Quartz? We haven't seen...
Is it Rainbow Quartz is the name?
We haven't seen Pearl and Garnet's fusion yet.
No,
That's
not
the
yet.
only one out of, like, the duos that we haven't seen out of the main 3.
Yeah, which is funny, because we see the 3... fusion
first.
Yes,
Which I thought was crazy because we don't get. I think it's Rainbow Quartz. Someone in the comments can correct me. We don't get that for a bit.
Yeah, it's not for a while.
And then it becomes just kind of an extension of this consent idea.
Yeah,
that
which
they
really bring up later.
And so we see Pearl and Garnet dancing, and it is like, I mean, fusion dancing is always sexualized,
but this one in particular, I mean.
It's there's like a dominant and a submissive sort of role.
It's exactly that. Like
in like every single one of these.
Pearl straight up jumps on Garnet's crotch and then gets pinned to the wall.
Yeah, Garnet literally like does the thing where she puts both her arms. Like there's that famous meme image of the tall girl with the small girl.
It's exactly
it's
that.
Like that image.
Where is that from, Jimmy?
Is that from something that's illicit? Some kind of illicit material that only adults should watch?
You tell me, buddy.
I only know it as a reaction image, so.
Oh, I'm almost positive it's from porn.
Yeah. Speaking of porn, Steven, no, I do really like this little dance scene. It just shows that kind of this theme, like Steven and the gems are incompatible at this like sort of core level.
Yeah.
He's just unable to do what they're doing.
And I mean, like the audience, again, we really don't get smoky quartz until way, way down the line. Like they kind of lead the audience to believe that, yeah, maybe it's just impossible for gems, a pure gem and a pure human to fuse. And we kind of get that reinforced later when Greg in the flashbacks tries to do it with Rose Quartz, and she's like, "What are you doing? We can't do this."
She's like, "That finger doesn't go there."
Wow, wow, wow. Do you like my sound effects?
That was terrible.
Thank you. Oh, real fast. 2026. This has nothing to do with Steven Universe. What's like a cool new like catchphrase or something like
for
just it for you?
For me in 2026,
I'm thinking like for me like yowza.
I like a new year, new gem. I'm sure that'll stick around.
That'll definitely stick. You'll definitely use that outside of this podcast.
I'll use that after the next 20 minutes for sure. So. Yeah, we have, and I like this little scene at the end where all three of the crystal gems, minus Steven, are like perfectly in sync, dancing and floating, and Steven tries to do it, but he can't hack it. And
he's given a genuine attempt too. Like he's not. Yeah. He's trying. Like he's taking it seriously, which is nice.
He just doesn't have like there isn't that same connection
rhythm, and that
he has with a human. Like which I love this theme here.
Exactly. Like that's what it takes. That deep level of connection and like. Similar mindset.
Someone his own age, someone he kind of relates to.
Yeah, of course he wouldn't be able to fuse with them right now. He's still too immature, like, because he's a kid. They're just two different minds. But he's a little frustrated. And then it just pans to him at the beach with Connie, which...
At night, which is cute and also it's so, like, as you said, like, the tone of this episode is so weird and different.
Yeah.
In a way that like Lion 3's tone has just like this sort of there's like an ominous like almost like a little bit of an ominous nature to it.
Like they're taking it
they've broken a formula.
Serious.
Like we're not doing anything by like a formula here. We're not going to beat up the big gem at the end. Like we are explicitly like and uncovering it's like more of a character study, I guess. Like we're doing more character work than we are like a plot,
and very like emotionally vulnerable of all the characters, very open, and exploring them. So they're talking, Steven's relating his frustrations to Connie on the beach, very romantic setting too. And she's kind of relating, saying that she was not able to go to her dance because she was too afraid to dance in front of people, and then Steven, ever a Chad, just plops down his music and is like, "Well, come dance with me, baby."
Yeah, I love that.
About that shit.
He like shoves his phone deep in the sand.
Oh my god!
In a way that would kill me in real life.
I would be so bothered.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. There's one little detail. Garnet is basically screaming at us now that she is a fusion.
Oh yeah, because
there's one line early when they're trying to dance, and Amethyst is like, yeah, fusion's pretty hard, and then Garnet says, "For me, it isn't." Like, just a really quick offhand line.
Yeah, which you would just take as like,
she's the most powerful. She's the strongest
makes sense.
one.
Yeah, she's just bragging, but it is very. I mean, this episode really.
It is like you
so
can tell,
obvious.
Yeah, like all the other hints beforehand, like are even more more amplified. But so yeah, I love to like Steven stands up, reaches his hand out to dance with Connie,
which again
covers his eyes because she's like, I don't want anyone to see me. Oh, it's so cute.
And like not to be creepy, but again, it is very sexualized. Like they're playing it like it's like a romantic first time together.
Yes,
like
very much.
And that's. I think the intent behind it, I was like...
I think they'll, like, swear up and down that it isn't, but we all know.
But, yeah, it's obviously at least a metaphor for that, at least.
Sure.
And so, yeah, Steven offers his hand, she takes it, they start dancing, and,
I love this sort of, like, nervous laughter, too. Like, they're having fun, but it's, like, different. Like,
yeah, and they keep
both
blushing.
Never done this with each other before.
Yeah, like, they're taking their relationship to a new level in a weird way. But, like, yeah, they're being open with each other. They're like finding each other very cute.
They really have this like just beautiful moment where they both catch each other and they put their heads together and they're laughing. And then Steven starts to glow.
And then we get the STEVONNIE eye open.
POV, you are STEVONNIE. And it's just really neat because the only times we've seen fusions before have been experienced gem users
who are well aware of the sensation and what it means,
treating themselves as a new entity, basically. Where Steven and Connie this whole episode are basically having a dialogue through Stevonnie, which is so interesting.
I really love how they did that. Like, yeah, I mean, they don't even realize that they're fused at first because they're talking to each other, but with, the same voice.
Which also I wanted to look up the voice actor for Stevonnie. The way that I'm assuming it's a woman, does the Steven voice and the Connie voice.
Yeah, just a little bit deeper. And
really awesome. This is
some mannerisms too. Like
laughing in particular is something like it starts with kind of like a fall laugh that Steven does and goes into more of like more of a lady style.
Yeah, like
like a tittering, if you will. But so it's this really great little moment
of like this becoming self-aware that there's something different. And I mean, Stevonnie says, but from Connie's perspective, like, you did it, Steven. You fused, not like a we fused. We are a thing. Like I mean, exactly to your point. They are still treating Stevonnie as something that's not a single identity. But then they have their excited, running around moment. It's got to be a crazy experience.
Yeah, and like you see that there's some clumsiness. Like even the part when they first wake up, they're like, "Oh, why is my sandal not fitting on your foot?" And it's
my foot, like, yeah.
And this whole idea of like sharing like a body, two distinct minds sharing a body. Oh, okay, very funny. So the voice of Stevonnie was part of the Allie and AJ duo.
Oh.
Also later on voiced the character Katra in the Netflix She-Ra reboot.
Shit.
Which I've seen a little bit of.
I have not watched it.
She's apparently also in the Goldberg show.
Wait, who's she in the Goldbergs?
I don't know. It just says she starred in it. But yeah,
either way, great
Stevonnie.
Actress.
I'm a member of Allie and AJ Michalika, but
well, kudos to you. So one interesting thing about the shoes. So okay, the shoes don't fit, and that starts Stevonnie's whole barefoot shtick. Like, I'm pretty sure she's always they are always barefoot. But the rest of the clothes just adjust. Like, so
that's a funny point. Well,
are fusions able to create new clothing? Like,
the only thing that really changes, I guess, is Connie's dress becomes just like a crop top, because Steven's clothes kind of look just like as Steven would wear them, just like styled a little differently.
And also, I guess shorter because it's a belly shirt now instead of full. I guess
the idea is that like Stevonnie is very tall.
Yeah,
like,
I guess his pants literally just became shorts because they're
because he's a 10-year-old.
Which
also that is kind of like funny.
He's actually like 13 at this point.
I think he's almost 13. He's still a minor. Well, he's a minor for the whole series.
Well,
but,
yes.
Except the one episode when he becomes like an ancient man and too many birthdays. Too many birthdays, Garnet.
Stupid. Or the one where he forces himself to be older when he gets sensitive about it. We'll get there.
But so, yeah, like they have this scene where he's talking to the gems and...
Yeah, first, like, we got to tell everybody.
I love that Pearl is like, stop this right now.
Yeah.
Like, she's like...
Pearl is like
so
the blushing
scared.
mother. Like, yeah.
Like, you're going up too fast.
Household? Like,
yeah, literally.
Amethyst is incredulous. Garnet's face the entire time is priceless. I mean, you
so
get
cute.
the wide open mouth. Like, I guess she just did not see this ever happening.
Yeah. And I love too that Amethyst whispers to Pearl, she's like, look at Garnet.
Yeah.
And it's just this cute pan over because like, Garnet never gets this cheesy. Like,
yeah, never gets this emotional. Like, but just genuine happiness and excitement. Because, yeah, like having... That's got to be such a cool feeling as like a parent being like, oh my God, like here's this thing that I am. Now we can relate on a whole nother level. Like you have experienced this thing that I constantly experience. Let's talk about it later, of course. But
it's so sweet. And so we didn't really talk about Stevonnie's design. So I think Stevonnie's a really great like kind of mixture of the two designs. Very tall, very curvy. Stevonnie is very curvy.
Stevonnie, they make a point to show how like sexualized she is and how uncomfortable it is for them, but yeah, Stevonnie is
like so yeah, belly shirt, we see the gem, we see Steven's gem, yes, barefoot, humongous like swath of curly hair, has a very like has like a longer version of the Steven kind of. To me, it always kind of looks like he's got kind of like a monkey face and like a, you know, it's tricky to like walk around this discussion with like how caricatures of some races are depicted sometimes. But this, I don't know, part of this too, like just reminded me of like the old Co days when I used to, ages ago, I used to be on 4chan's cartoons and comics board.
Oh man.
So there was
like the hacker.
Yeah, the hacker known as 4chan.
Shit.
There was this kind of collaborative art project on Co, which is a cartoon comics board at the time, or CO. I always called it Co, but it was kind of like everyone wanted to make like it's kind of like the idea of like what's the thing, like, you know, a camel is like a horse designed by a committee kind of idea. Yeah. The idea was like, let's design our own like waifu OC, but like with all the parts that we like.
Everybody, yeah.
And I forget her name. It's gonna kill me. But it was like, I remember it specifically being like a dark skinned, like a tan skinned, like tomboy-esque character. And to me, like, I always just think of that. I think her name was like Covette or something.
4chan composite character.
Yeah, it was very cute. It was a very like loved character. It wasn't like the kind of thing where like, we're gonna torture this bitch. Like,
no.
It was like, oh, we made like a collaborative character.
That's sweet.
But I just wanted to say that because I'm an old internet man now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we get this great little moment where Garnet basically just says, like, pushes Pearl away.
Yeah.
Maybe not physically, but
because Pearl's like, Garnet, say something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm freaking out. And Garnet says, like, you are an experience. Go have fun, which is awesome. It's like, yeah, you're not one person. You're not two people. You are a whole new thing.
Which is like such a cool way of
explaining
putting
fusion,
it,
and like very succinctly. So yeah, Stevonnie goes to the beach and is shown to be very athletic right off the bat. Like,
I really love this little sequence of Stevonnie running
and just
with like the beach or the city lights behind them on the beach.
Again, it's a very like,
it lets you sit with this moment.
Yes, yeah, and treat it like something just really beautiful. Like, it's giving like, I don't even know what to compare it to. It's giving.
You heard me scoff when I said that. Yeah, it's hard to. But okay, one thing too I wanted to say, like, I remember as a child, like playing Dragon Ball Z games, watching Dragon Ball Z, and always having that thought in my head, like, what would happen if a boy and a girl fused together?
Literally,
because like I was a little pervert thinking about that, and I love this like.
Well, I have boobies that I can look at.
Yes, literally, and like I love that this idea explores that, because there's something a little taboo about that. I mean, you could like there's these kind of meta discussions about Stevonnie being like an intersex sort of character.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we get
non-binary.
We get Stevonnie later, which I'm glad they do show that, like, when they're stuck on that planet and like starting to grow a beard too.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So I have to assume, it's a mix of both genders. They don't, of course, they're not going to touch on that, but I will say, I think, well, I don't know, like, because we very shortly after that, after the whole beach scene, gets Stevonnie going into the donut shop because they're hungry, and like,
very organic too. I like how that kind of just leads right into that.
Yeah, like we're just playing together apart. But what's their faces? Why can't Sadie and Lars are like, oh my god, who is this person?
I really love this like trend of every normie just like being so attracted to this androgynous character.
You are just beautiful.
This isn't. It's funny. I feel like, at least in internet speak, the term androgynous isn't really used as much as it maybe was used more back in the day, like when this was coming out. But there is definitely like this sort of trend of androgynous character design, or just androgynous looking people really being attractive in both ways, in both a sort of a masculine and a feminine presenting way. And I really love how it plays into that, but also like up to 10, like there's something like perfect about the way that
that it's just everybody is attracted to them.
There's a funny scene. So okay, one thing too for everyone keeping track at home, Stevonnie's holding $3 bills. It's a dollar bill with a 3 on it.
So we've got $2 bills and $3 bills.
Yeah, no singles apparently. But
that's funny.
So they get 2 donuts and then
for free.
Yeah, Lars is like, don't worry about it.
No, it wasn't Lars who did that. It was Sadie.
Oh, it's Sadie. Sadie does say that. I like how she kind of blushes and pushes the bag away.
And also, like, they literally have Stevonnie come in, like, hair
soaking
dripping,
wet,
like
yeah.
Meg from Hercules, like wringing out the hair,
Yes.
doing the back curl up. Like,
Yeah.
they're really playing up the like, oh, I am gorgeous. Also, just in terms of like androgynous, see, that's interesting that you mentioned that. I feel like a lot of times, like nowadays, I think a lot of purposely designed androgynous characters tend to lean more towards like the feminine
Yes,
aspect.
definitely.
So it is. I mean, I think STEVONNIE
Definitely does.
absolutely does. It's it's interesting when that isn't the case. A good example, Chaos from Hades and Hades 2 especially.
Yeah, yeah.
I really think is kind of a good
It's more of a masculine presenting.
but it's still with very feminine qualities, but like you assume more masculine.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting what the brain kind of wires to.
Yeah, because you're looking for like these sort of secondary characteristics. Really, is kind of what you're going to.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like with Stevonnie has like an hourglass shape, like very prominent hips.
More feminine voice, being a voice actress as opposed to.
Yeah, but then like more so like the face, like generally don't see faces, like at least in Steven Universe's world, you don't see face design like that for female characters. Really cool. And yeah, I love that this like recurring gag of everyone just being like sexually attracted to STEVONNIE at first blush.
So STEVONNIE, grabs the donuts, is sitting on the bench, and realizes that they have two. And yeah, this was a great moment.
Yeah,
like,
I really, really, really love this moment.
Using the donuts to like act as Steven and Connie, being like, "Hey, like, do you want to stop? Like, is this too much? Like, are we lonely? It would be easier with you here." And I was it Connie who was internally saying like,
that's what I was interpreting it.
Like Connie asking Steven if he wants to stop, or vice versa.
Oh no, I thought it was the opposite. I thought it was Steven asking Connie.
Okay.
Also, it is kind of funny. One of the donuts has a hole, the other one doesn't.
Yep. I mean, very, very in your face about it. Like,
but so yeah, I interpret that as like, because it's really funny that we read it different ways. I'd like to go back and watch the scene actually, but I always see Connie as kind of the one that's more cautious and like more so outside of like wanting to be on the periphery of gem things.
Yeah.
Where Steven is always like whole hog, like let's keep going.
I'm gung ho about it. Either way, it's a nice thing to ask.
Yeah, no, they do
have
this moment.
Showcase that.
And they start to bring up these ideas of like this uncomfortableness. Like now that they've had time, they're kind of out of like the quote unquote honeymoon phase. They're really like realizing like what this is. Like,
yeah, it's like I'm still alone in a weird way. Like,
yeah, it's funny because like as children, and I mean as like you could say as like anyone in the world, you kind of want to lean on somebody. Like there's this tendency, especially when you're in a scary situation, to lean on someone else. But here it's like we have them as like this primary independent figure who's incapable of like Steven likes to lean on Connie for like certain things that he doesn't know about and vice versa. Connie leans on Steven for gem stuff, but they have no one right now. It's just them. It's this very independent moment, and there's a lot of like scariness with it and loneliness. Yeah,
that I'm a different entity. Like I'm not Steven and I'm not Connie, and like internally I'm talking with both of them, but it's really just one person like having a conversation with yourself, you know?
Yeah. I don't want to spoil any other stories, but like the idea of a hive mind kind of idea, like sort of people sharing a brain, people sharing a body. It's really interesting to me when they do play around with the idea that they're still kind of there inside. Like if I had looked at the other past gem events, like the fusion events, it seemed like they were pretty a little ching. They were pretty like like their own kind of idea. I think they're kind of entity. Like Sugalite literally like is almost incapable of being reasonable.
Yeah, and defusing until she gets beat up. Like
whereas like this, like they seem to have like moments where they kind of blend together, but then there's a lot of moments where they're explicitly Steven and Connie having this conversation through themselves.
I guess that's it's almost like it's not a perfect fusion yet.
Yeah.
Like I mean, and later with STEVONNIE.
We also see an imperfect fusion with Garnet or with original Garnet. When she's got kind of like the bubblegum hair.
Yeah, still kind of learning about what this. That's a really good point. Yeah, and like later on, STEVONNIE, I'm pretty sure almost never talks to themselves aside from like that one episode where they're stuck fused for, you know,
and they're alone, so you want to for like
for
the
plot
plot
purposes,
to go forward.
exactly.
Yeah, you need a character to like say things.
But it's, you know, the first fusion, I guess, is just always kind of a weird experience figuring. I mean, like anything, you know, the first time.
Just like having sex with my penis.
Not me. I was perfect.
Yeah, Tom. I was there. Actually, I was there.
It's true. Jimmy was applauding in the back.
I was. Oh, he invited me to watch. Obviously.
Yeah. Of course. I would never touch that
It
beautiful
was.
man.
It was fourth grade.
Fourth grade, 30 hours.
It was during Spanish class.
I took French.
Oh fuck! Not in fourth grade though.
That's true. Fifth grade was actually, you took a quarter of everything,
Yes,
and
I
then you got
remember.
to decide. All that to be said, they're on the bench. Sour cream comes up, instantly attracted to.
I love the blushing and looking
just
away.
like,
It's so cute.
like in universe. I mean, again, STEVONNIE must be just fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like for everybody to have that same reaction. Also, I guess, like, presents themselves as probably like high school age then, like
Definitely, yeah. But everyone that's like attracted to STEVONNIE is like way older and is never anyone that's ever seen Steven as attractive or considered Steven like viable.
But also, okay, and we'll get into this at the very end too, but STEVONNIE has a big ass gem
No,
in their
don't
stomach.
think about it.
You would think anybody would see that gem knowing that Steven can shape change, like has seen him shape change and be
Don't
like,
think about it. Don't think. So
oh, it's Steven just
no, don't think about it. So okay, to counter your point, I've been reading a little book that you recommended to me called Mistborn.
Hell
I
yeah.
believe the first one's called The Final Empire.
Yes.
So I
Great book,
I
if anybody hasn't
mostly
read it.
finished it. We'll talk about it later. But there's kind of this neat idea that the like sort of Lord Ruler, who's this kind of like immortal figure, he is the one that kind of inspires fashion trends.
Yes.
So like the idea in this world that like people can control metal and it's like dangerous to have metal on your person, but there are nobles that still wear metal because it's fashionable and the Lord Ruler wears metal. So even though it puts you at a weird disadvantage of like I'm essentially putting weapons on my body, maybe
That's very true.
this is not ever discussed in Steven Universe. It would be really cool if people saw the gems and were like
Adapted
inspired
fashion off of the
by
gem.
that and adapted fashion. I
mean,
would love to have seen that.
That would be a cool little bit. I mean, the gems have been around since the dawn of
Literally the dawn of
civilization.
human civilization.
So yeah, you would think that certain aspects, I mean, not for nothing, you could really play around with that, like Egyptian gods being just gems,
yeah, for sure.
or like, and that's like the whole shape changing thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they turned into a giant sunbird because a gem just flew away. Like,
yeah. Damn, that's a really cool.
like you could absolutely play around in universe and have some really cool some stuff. They absolutely never touch on that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
This is just me just free associating fan fiction at this point. But
so gets invited to the rave,
we'll have free glow sticks.
which I mean, hell yeah, I would go to a free rave that has glow sticks.
And not to be like hammering in this point, but the way he says free glow sticks, it took me a second to realize what he said, and it really did sound like he said something about dicks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When he said that line, and it is also Brian Posehn voice acting, so
Sure.
a crude comic. So
But it's yeah. I mean, they all have the same idea with STEVONNIE, and this is interesting too because again, Connie made a point saying that she was afraid to go to her dance because she felt too self-conscious dancing in front of everybody. STEVONNIE was like, "Hell yeah, we're gonna go to this dance," and I think that's kind of Connie's side. Getting that bolstered confidence now, like, oh, I could do this, like this is awesome. I could do anything. So they get to the rave, and
which also I just want to I love the consistency of locations. Like this is the same place where I don't know if they give it a name, but the wrestling match was, and also like we haven't talked about the visuals much, but the scene of like STEVONNIE going to the back of the rave and the way the light pours out.
yeah,
And like this whole sequence coming up, like they play with color so much. Like basically everyone's skin is like purple and everyone gets this fun like neon effect.
it's artistically, it's a beautiful episode.
Yeah.
Like they really paint this well. Because
Definitely.
also like, this might be me looking way too much into this, but like the crack that everybody enters the warehouse in absolutely looks like a vagina. Like, I don't know. It's giving another sexual image. Crazy,
Yeah.
right? But
It is funny, it really, even like up to interpretation, how much there is here. But yeah, so we get, as you said, STEVONNIE's going crazy on the dance floor.
well, so it's first off, I love that the rave is like 10 people.
It is pretty funny because it's Beach City is like a good 50 people.
Yeah.
Like half of them are maybe like under the age of 30.
I mean, I guess, and Sour Cream even mentions that his friends from the internet are coming to the rave. So you do
I missed that line. That's funny.
And I think that's where we get the stand-in characters.
We do see some of the Crooniverse. So
Yeah.
I think we see like an early model of Rebecca.
We do. I
don't
think.
know if Rebecca's model changes later because it looked pretty unfamiliar to like what I remember.
Well, we get a couple instances.
Ian JQ is for sure. He's like so recognizable in like every group shot.
Yeah, but so there's like 10 people. The cool kids are there.
Yeah, all the cool kids. I love the consistency.
And then some weird dude in the back.
Kevin.
So STEVONNIE comes in, and once again, everybody's like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Which I guess does kind of make sense when you're in a small town and some like just insanely
Babe.
gorgeous person comes in. Yeah, like, but
wearing
that
like
makes-
almost nothing.
pretty much. So STEVONNIE gets instantly self-conscious because I assume that's more of the Connie side.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Being like, "What is this? What having fun is like?" Everybody's looking at me like, "Is
Yeah,
this?"
to suddenly be like, because the whole episode, even though they've been the center of attention, it hasn't really been like something to worry about. But now this is like the fear. This is Connie's big fear. Everyone's paying attention to them. For like a very different reason though, which I think, not to like get too deep into it, I'm also not a woman, so I can't really talk about this from personal experience, but we get a lot of this in the episode of sort of the like female experience of being like a
unfortunately just like sexualized and just
we did say like STEVONNIE's design is sexualized. That could be like all totally debated. People could
that's true.
Could ring us in the comments for that.
We could be real asses about it, and sorry if we are.
But so like this scene is essentially like STEVONNIE being confronting this like real thing that happens to a lot of women and
like
even
I can't go out to just
people.
genuinely try to enjoy myself because everybody's oogling me.
Yes,
like
I'm treated as a sex object. I'm treated differently for how I look. And it's even worse for Connie. The whole fear is like, oh, I don't want to be noticed.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is worse now. Now you're being noticed in a way that it's probably not uncommon for girls of her age to get. I've heard like horror stories of young girls will say like they'll talk about the first time that they remember being like seen as like a sex object,
which is just so horrible when it's so like young too. I mean, it's like
it's
very I've heard
disgusting.
stories about like 10-year-old girls being like that, and it's like
get like the first time that they're the cat called or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, how disturbing that must be, and like I really like that we get a bit of that because that's not something that you can really convey in like a cartoon.
No. And it's interesting. So like from STEVONNIE's perspective, do you think they are realizing that like that is why everybody is staring, or is it still kind of the innocence of like oh, I'm just uncomfortable because now I'm self-conscious because I think like people are judging me?
I really like the way they do it. I think it's kind of in the middle. It's because really what STEVONNIE's saying, because STEVONNIE talks to himself a lot, is I don't like that kind of dancing. I don't like that kind of attention. I don't like, it's different from before. It's not just like, oh, we're having fun. It's like this guy is literally like gyrating his hips toward me. Because then Kevin is like, oh, I'm the hot guy here.
So before that though, STEVONNIE has like a legitimate panic attack when everybody is looking at them and like, you know, shows the disco ball like encircling them and really starting to freak out. And then Kevin busts through it to start dancing with them. But yeah, he just a tool.
Yeah, it's really funny too because I could see it's a little sympathetic in the way that they paint this character because ultimately all he is doing is asking to dance. He's being assertive and he's being a bit aggressive. I wouldn't even say aggressive, but like STEVONNIE is essentially two like 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like you have to think like they're very unequipped for this situation. And
I mean, given the circumstance, I mean, like he's a tool and a creep for sure. Like the way he goes about it,
he's depicted as a creep, yeah.
But like, I mean, I guess from his perspective, he's at a rave, like
he's very flirty, which is something that like STEVONNIE is not equipped to deal with.
Yeah, and
rejects like violently.
Yeah, leaves. But see, I'll say the initial approach when he's dancing, and then STEVONNIE walks away. Like that's one thing. It's when he goes back over to them. And is like, no, come on, baby, just a dance.
We're
like,
the only two cool people here.
Yeah, we're the hot ones in a town full of losers. Like, that's when it absolutely crosses the line.
I do, but from his point of view, it's hysterical because like all he thought he was hitting on a girl, like aggressively, but then it becomes like two 12-year-olds.
He's like, whoa, I'm out. Like,
which is hilarious because like You know that like it's kind of like an online joke of like the worst thing she can say is no, bro. The worst thing she can say is no. The worst thing she can do is turn into two 12-year-olds in front of your eyes.
A 12-year-old boy and girl.
Yeah.
So yeah, he tries to really push, and then STEVONNIE's like, "Oh, fine, like I'll fucking dance with you," and just starts
engages
going crazy.
in dancing that is not comfortable and
Yeah,
that
that
they
is
do not enjoy.
Purposely shown to be just aggressive and not fun, like and that's what ultimately unfuses them. And then Kevin's like, "Fuck, I'm out,"
which is very funny. Also, I do want to mention there is I don't know if this is before or after, probably before, but there's a funny Adventure Time clip or a scene from an Adventure Time episode where early on something happens, like Princess Bubblegum, who is depicted as like a late teen, like a 20-year-old. I mean, she's like thousands of years old, but whatever. She gets hurt and then reformed, and she's like an 11-year-old, and she comes out. She comes out of like a hospital room. They're like, she's young now. She's 11. And Ice King, who the character is always trying to go after Princess, he's like, "Oh, well, I'm out," and he like flies away. Like he immediately is like, "I can't pursue this 11-year-old."
That's actually really funny.
So that's a little bit of an echo joke there, which I think is funny. But and then to me, Connie's reaction is like weird at the end.
So it makes me a little uncomfortable. I still don't really understand what happened. Like, and even reviewing it because, like Connie starts hilariously laughing and then Steven starts laughing, but they're both crying.
It's like there's like the thing, like emotions are just too much, like you're just kind of like overflowing with emotion,
overloaded, I guess,
in a way that you can't even like parse through them. You're just, which is very like appropriate for the series. I like that.
But then it's nice because then Steven and Connie like are actually dancing and having fun dancing together, and Connie does not care anymore that people are staring, because when she's with Steven differently, like actually have him
not in the
physically there
sense.
But instead of STEVONNIE, it's really, there's a lot of storytelling done with like 7 seconds of animation. Like
it is a little scary the way that Connie reacts at the end, because it's very out of character for her to not only just be dancing like crazy but also maniacally laughing.
It's very manic, like, and it's
it's almost like Steven almost takes a cue from her, because he's kind of afraid at first to like even react, and then he starts laughing and they just start running around. Then the glow stick shower starts happening. Then it interestingly pulls out of the crack in the wall, the vagina that you said before,
which really do think it is.
But so and that's really it. To me, I really see this as like, I don't know, like it's almost like a loss of innocence moment for Connie, where like
I think that's probably the best way to put it.
She went way further than she ever expected or even thought possible physically,
but is still happy to have Steven, like a supporting partner.
And it's the kind of thing too where it's like you have that moment when you're in a situation like this where you're like, oh my God, what would my mom think if she saw me like this? Like, I'm sure that there's thoughts like that in an act like
this.
Which
is pretty much what Pearl was doing earlier.
Yes, literally.
From Steven's mom's perspective. It's I think loss of innocence is a really great way of putting it, because I was having trouble kind of like figuring out what that last scene meant, and I'm sure a lot of people can I would
love to know what other people, if like, commenters would love to give us their thoughts on it.
Yes, please comment on that, because there's a lot of I think things that can be said in those final like 30 seconds of the episode. But I think it's exactly that, like overwhelmed with emotion, lost, never expected to go that far, but like happy to be there with Steven.
It's like a truly changed moment. Like they're both changed in a way. Connie really does feel like a more changed character
than Steve. And also, I mean,
which is very interesting.
This is weird for Connie. Like Steven's used to gem stuff. Like that's her first real experience, like getting transformed from a gem. Like
I literally can't even imagine being in that position.
Like it's
like to really try and empathize with Connie here. It's kind of crazy. Also, I did notice the shrinkage of Connie's begun. Connie's character design is starting to shrink already.
The head has grown and the body has shrunk.
Also, there was I think it was last episode, Steven and Amethyst were like almost the same
Amethyst
size.
was like shorter than Steven for a second.
It was a little crazy.
They were playing around with the models a little bit. But that's fine, because the story has been very good.
So we kind of danced around it, but like gem fusion as a metaphor for sex is like a definite thing that I see a lot. And it's kind of the thing where like people I think the creators have talked about it offhand, and people try and use that as a way to hand wave it away. It definitely is more, I guess you could say it's more of like a shifting metaphor because it kind of means different things in different times.
Yeah.
This one is definitely one about sex.
This is 100% about sex. This whole episode is I think a giant metaphor for it.
That and like you could even say like taking a relationship to the next level,
yes,
sort of.
Yeah.
To simplify it.
Which also kind of exactly that. Like I think fusions also signify like a relationship.
I was gonna get it for you. Tom and I just touched toes.
It was very romantic. Because later, I mean, again, just to bring it back to Steven Universe Future, spoilers to anybody who hasn't gotten there yet. When Steven tries to propose to Connie, he literally says like, "Will you marry me?" And like, "We'll be STEVONNIE." Like, you know, so first off, I don't know if his intent was for them to just be permanently fused forever, which would be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But like,
from his perspective, it's like, oh, well, Garnet does it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Garnet does it.
But it's like, yeah, like a fusion is a relationship. And it's like, you know, if you betray my trust, that's one thing. With, you know, Pearl and Garnet later, like it means a lot of different things. And it can be played for all of them like simultaneously almost.
That's why I think it's really interesting the way they handle the whole thing with Kevin at the end, because like there is like a real conversation about consent happening like throughout the episode.
Yes, Steven was very proper the entire time, like offered Connie his hand, asked if she wanted to dance, asked if she wanted to stop.
Yeah,
like,
that's another. I really actually like that. Not
constantly
to sound like
asking if she's okay. Like,
do you, especially around this time, do you remember that infamous tea video that would go around?
TV.
There was this, like, I say infamous just because it got like used a million times, but to help like understand consent.
Oh, consent is a cup of tea.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
and this became like a big metaphor, and like this would have been kind of going around circles
Around
like
the
when
same
this
time.
when
Yeah.
this was, but like so the whole idea is that it was kind of going through the idea of like when is it appropriate to give someone a cup of tea, which is like when is it appropriate to ask or pursue sex with somebody, and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's
So, but yeah, I think that it's at the time these kind of conversations about consent were a bit more novel, and in like a way that I think is just appropriate to mention for this episode because
Yeah.
it is like, I don't know, at the time this felt like very, very groundbreaking.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that long ago, but it was like
10 years ago, 11 years ago.
Yeah,
almost,
and I mean,
nearly.
You know, that's a different decade and a different
Yes.
kind of mentality. Yeah, now I think it's very commonplace, and rightfully so, that like, you know, people talk about this kind of stuff and are very open. I mean, this is before like the Me Too movement as well. Like, this was before a lot of different kind of small to large cultural shifts. Yeah, like I mean, growing up in like high school, I really don't remember people kind of having those kinds of conversations.
No, yeah.
Just wasn't something that was really talked about. Like,
And then like 4 to 5-ish years later, like seeing this episode and being like, oh, wow,
like,
yeah. Maybe I should find a nice, beautiful, androgynous, dark-skinned person to
rip out their gem, my gem.
But it was,
Great episode.
I really love this episode. It's fantastic. Like these early Steven episodes just have these like incredible commitments to,
oh my god, yeah, like
a very specific vibe, a specific theme.
it's like the sitcom, like those heavy episodes of a sitcom.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, like I'm just very glad that the show is not afraid to kind of take it to different places like that and to have an air of seriousness about it while still having comedy. Like, it's still funny as an episode.
And I think, and I hate to sound like negative, to make a negative point out of this, but that's when like when they have a goofy, straight up goofy, jokey episode, why it kind of falls flat for me, because
Same. It's
I
just
feel
all
like
joke.
you can do more. Like,
You can do so much better with these characters than just have it be just punchline after punchline. Like,
and you can have these like really good jokes about like the whole Lars and Sadie scene. Like that's their only scene in the whole episode.
yeah, and it was a great just little one. Like, they
it's a good little
animated
gag.
Lars very funny, which goes back to they love animating Lars in different ways.
The drawing of Lars is so funny. That one where he's like a big flat square. They just make Lars look really funny all the time.
They love it. But yeah, like again, you can have both. Like, you're able to like really advance the plot and have character development while still being a fun kids show. Like,
so then when we have the Zoltar episode in season 5, then I get mad because I'm like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
This isn't even a funny episode.
it's not funny. It's not good. But yeah, just a great episode. Really did not know that was the next episode, so
it was very funny.
Very happily surprised.
That's fun. It's really fun not to look at the next episode.
I like just kind of being like, oh shit, that episode.
Oh my god, I'm still the one that I keep waiting for is the fucking Greg warehouse. Or
oh my god, I cannot believe we haven't got that
episode.
Yet.
It's insane. It must be like in the next 5.
It's gotta be. It's gotta. I mean,
because we just got Steven's mom's voice and like. Her big design reveal, actually. That was kind of a point, too.
But yeah,
Steven,
we're in for some good rides.
Sorry, this was a long episode.
But we hope you guys enjoyed it. And seriously, leave a comment about, what your take on the last bit of the episode was, because I would definitely like to see some alternate views maybe, or, just what people think.
Yeah, I would love to. I would just love to get more. I love talking about Steven Universe, obviously.
Got crazy.
I want to see what people have to say about this pretty great freaking episode. I would say that this one is
This is one of my favorites. It's definitely one of the most memorable, I think.
Yeah, this one is definitely in I would say the top 5, top 3 of what we've watched so far.
Yeah.
It's starting to get tough though because we've had
now we're getting a lot of really good VHS.
VHS was probably my. Oh my god, this is really tough. I'm trying to think of which ones we've seen. Yeah, but this is for me. This
Lapis
is
Lazuli.
That episode is so. I think that's still my favorite.
I think that's
singular episode.
Same here.
Which one is that? Mirror Gem. I think it's called.
Mirror Gem. Yeah.
Yeah, because Ocean Gem is the follow. Yeah, Mirror Gem is an incredible fucking episode, and then this one maybe number 2 for me.
Yeah, this one's just really. I really appreciate episodes that allow a lot of just thought behind it.
Yeah, it just feels like I keep saying it, but there's so much humanity.
Yes.
In every inch of this episode, there's so much human experience. It really feels like these are conversations that were happening behind closed doors. These weren't real big conversations people were having.
Yeah, and so to kind of see it portrayed, especially for kids that maybe their parents don't want to discuss this kind of stuff, or
And how scary is it to talk about sex things in a kid's show?
In a way that's relatable without being oh, you can't have sex.
Yeah, that or coming off as inappropriate, or I think it's an incredibly difficult needle to thread, and they're just
to thread the emotion behind it.
Which is ultimately the point.
You're gonna be feeling this way about something. It's okay.
So
it's
good.
about Anyway,
it just gets you. It hits you in the deep well.
We can keep talking for quite a long time, so we'll end it here. But Jimmy, give us a good outro.
If Tom and I fused together, it would be a 4 foot tall.
Mm-hmm. We would shrink.
Three butt cheeked.
3 butt. Well, you gotta. That way, every time you walk, it gives the Okay. Bye.
How fast does that walk?
Oh, we're like a gremlin. We're at least 17 miles per hour every walk.
That makes sense. All right. Goodbye.
Okay. Bye.